Welcome to Zen and the Art of Self-Publishing. It's the podcast where we slow down, get honest, and put the human back at the center of author life. I'm your host, Janet Margot, so come on in and let's talk. Welcome, welcome. Bradley Charbonneau has written 40 books, ranging from children's fiction he co-authored with his son to a nonfiction series built around a simple but radical idea. Stop waiting and start doing. An American who's made his home in the Netherlands, Bradley is president of his local Toastmasters chapter and a regular presence at Boom Chicago, Amsterdam's legendary Improv theater. He is, in other words, someone who's built his entire life around showing up on stage, on the page, and on camera. I'll be honest with you. Bradley first came to me as a client looking to improve his book sales. But what happened instead was pretty interesting. We figured out together, well, he really figured out more without me, but that commercial book success is not what drives him. What Bradley needs and what makes him actually come alive is an audience, not to sell, but to move, to convince the overthinkers and the perfectionists and the people who've been sitting on their idea for 2 years or more that the cost of waiting is higher than the cost of being imperfect. And that is exactly the spirit of this podcast. So today we're going to talk YouTube, which is, more tactical and might be a little bit more how-to, which might be unexpected for listeners. Like I said, it's the spirit of this podcast. Bradley grew a channel to over 200,000 followers, and we're really going to talk about what it means to just do the thing. So Bradley, my dear friend, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Wow. Did you write that down? Can I have that, please? That was wonderful.
I'll give it to you.
I'm like, who's that awesome guy? Wait, is that me? What?
This is the cool thing about this podcast is that I have a chance to obviously interview my friends, but also, I'm going to get corny here, really speak from the heart. Because I think that's what we really need a lot more of, in the world of automation and AI. And I'm pro-automation, but still, we need more human.
Yeah.
So you didn't start at 200,000. Let's talk day one. What did it look like? And what pushed you to start a YouTube channel when at the time, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, at the time you were still identifying primarily as an author?
Yeah, for sure. So there's an easy story. Since we're both authors, the author story is a perfect segue because the author story, as I've told you, I did the typical 8 years, which is painful to me to admit, of not writing, right?
Yeah.
Wanting to do it, talking about it, whining about it, moaning about it. I'm going to be, let me wait until it's perfection. And I even have this, it's so cliche, but when I'm at the right lake, on the right cabin, on the right terrace with the right cup of tea and the right laptop and the right sunset, then I'll write my perfect book, right? And of course, it's never going to happen. And so having learned from that, so I spent 8 years, and the only thing that finally kicked my butt was somebody else, not me, somebody else who kicked my butt and said, dude, what are you doing? He gave me a 30-day writing challenge. I wrote for 30 days, and then that opened the floodgates. So as strong as I think I am, and as like a go-getter as I think I am, well, now I am more than then, but I needed that invitation to actually take action. And that's sort of where I then have taken over the role of being the one who invites to come take the action after the pain of 8 years. So YouTube, many more years later, I didn't want to make the same mistake. And I actually followed my own advice. And it's like fire, aim, ready, right? And I just do it. And I just do it badly and poorly, and quantity over quality. We'll talk a lot about quality over quantity and quantity over quality, but I'm much more about quantity in the beginning over quality, because maybe in the beginning you don't even know what quality is. What's quality? I don't know. What's a good book? I don't know. What's a good YouTube video? I don't know.
So at the time, though, did you actually have a strategy, or were you just figuring it out with that quantity? Just like boom, 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 I'm going to do it and learn as I go.
So you mentioned, Toastmasters, which is public speaking. You mentioned Boom Chicago, which is improv stage. I've also done stand-up comedy, MC work. So I like being on stage, right? And that has been my shift, going from author to speaker.
Can I just
Yeah.
say, as
Yeah.
a witness to your growth in the past, 5 years since we've been friends, um, because you came to me as a consultant or you were a
Yeah.
potential
Yeah.
client, but we became fast friends. Um, I've seen the growth really when you started doing improv, which is interesting to me because
Oh,
improv is totally just do it. Like you just
yeah.
like,
Yeah. You're
boom,
right.
you just opened
Yes.
up big time.
Yeah. Thank you for acknowledging that. That helps me as well to see that. And it's interesting. It's always fun to see somebody else's perspective, right? And to
Yeah.
see that you recognize that. That's pretty cool. Because I look back and I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's exactly it. So improv, stand up, Toastmasters, it's all stage and stuff. And then so camera, recording, video, stage. So I thought YouTube, right?
Hmm.
I have a stage. And and last week I was speaking in front of a room with 25 live humans, super awesome. But then I've got a video that reaches. I just saw one. I can't even believe
And that
this. It
was
was
in
like,
France, by the way, right?
yeah, yeah, in
So
Dutch.
you're
Oh my god,
Toastmasters. I said local Toastmasters, but the reality is you're totally international.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was I have to say this because I'm very proud. But I gave the presentation in Dutch. It was in France, but it was in the Dutch language because it
Jeez.
was I know, because it was a trilingual conference. It was a European
That's
conference.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I mean, my Dutch is excellent, of course, and obviously, if I'm confident enough to give a workshop in Dutch, then my Dutch has got to be pretty good. So that was amazing, and I even just on that note, and also because you were talking about the heart. And I even wrote a Facebook post that day. I remember because it was a good one. And I said something like I'm writing this post because I need to remind myself that I am living a dream
Yeah.
that used to just be a dream. And
Yeah.
hello, people. Are you living some dreams that you used to think of and now you just do them? And do you not
Yeah.
recognize and acknowledge and celebrate them? I don't. I'm
Hmm.
totally guilty of not doing it.
Yeah,
Like,
me
oh,
too.
I gave a presentation in Dutch in France at an international conference and I gave a
Yeah.
workshop. Oh yeah, that's cool. Like, hello. That's amaze balls compared to where I was a few years ago. So
That's cool.
acknowledge, celebrate, where we are and the progress we're making. I mean, like you said, with the improv, I mean, improv has got to be like one of the scariest things. And I
I
loved
love
it.
improv.
Yeah,
I
it's
love it.
super cool. And most people hate it. So,
Yeah, because
so
you have
then
to just
YouTube.
do it. You just have to run with
Exactly.
whatever's coming to your mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know we're going to
Yeah.
talk more about YouTube, but that was the initial YouTube is a stage. And I thought, and
Hmm.
in fact, like Toastmasters, I call it a stage to practice. It's a good practice zone. Well, so is YouTube. In fact, here in 30 seconds, I'll give you my workshop that I gave in France. And it was called YouTube for
Hmm.
sprekers, for speakers.
Hmm.
And I kind of was joking in the beginning. I'm like, hey, this is weirdly not going to be so much about YouTube. It's actually going to be about confidence. Because in YouTube, there are three settings. There's private, unlisted, and public. In the
Hmm.
beginning of my workshop, I said, what do you guys all think is the scariest? And they're all, oh, public, oh, going out into the whole world. I'm like, okay, I'm going to convince you by the end of this, it's the first one. It's private. Like, what? What?
Why? Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so, because if you consider it like these three is like level 1, 2, 3, private, unlisted, public.
Yeah.
You think public, that's scary. That's the whole world. Oh, scary, scary. But because where they are now is zero, is no level, no nothing. So for me, the biggest hurdle is from 0 to 1, is from making that first crappy video that you're super scared of. And it's probably going to be terrible, but it's private. You don't have to share it with anybody. But we are usually our own harshest critics.
Hmm.
The public, of course, there's haters. Haters going to hate. But
Hmm.
we, God, this sounds so mean, but we're like our biggest haters sometimes, right? And oh, I did a video. Oh, it's terrible. Oh my God, I'm a loser. Or I'm a total failure. Yeah, okay, all right, moving on. But so that was my whole thing. I want you to get to private, and so what I did in the workshop, I said, all right, you're never going to hear this in a workshop, but everybody take out their phones. What? And I had everybody, well, you remember this, I did a similar thing in Vegas. Take out your phone and we're going to do a 15-second short, not public, just on your phone. And people were so freaked out in the beginning. And then we did it 3 times over the workshop. And by then they were already more comfortable. I'm like,
just got to do it.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just got to do it. So that's really is my sort of core philosophy of just doing it.
So what actually moved the needle? Like, you were plugging away for a while, but it was a while before, it was like years of content before suddenly your growth was tremendous, right?
Yes. Yes.
Can you walk us through that?
Yeah. It's, people are not going to like the answer, but the one thing that happened, and this is sort of a technical, boring story, but I had a different YouTube channel for like 3 years. And then branding wise, I wanted to move it to my Repossible email, my Repossible brand. I didn't know this. Now I do. You cannot just like migrate or transfer or ask Google to move your stuff. You have to download them all manually and then upload them all manually to your new thing, right? So I had 3 years. And again, back to Mr. Habits over here. Every single Thursday, I record like a 10-minute video. So I had 52 times 3 years, 150 plus videos, good quality 10-minute videos, right?
Yeah.
And that I had to move. And then I thought strategically, well, I shouldn't upload them all at once. So I then, for 52 Thursdays I think it was last year. Yeah, last year, I uploaded, to catch up the years, I uploaded 3 of the old Thursday videos, plus the current video. So we're talking 4 full-length videos every Thursday, right? And then, which is 4 times 52. So I'm like 200 full-length videos in the year. So back to quantity, quality. YouTube appreciates quantity, but what they cherish above all is consistency.
So it was really pulling your back catalog, essentially into the new one to make the velocity of uploads.
And strategically,
increase.
Right? Because I didn't do it all at once, thank God, because I thought I was going to do that at first. Nope. Just
so it's the consistency.
Yeah. And the volume and the quantity. Yeah. And so then, although, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, because it's funny, we should get into this conversation, but how you and I met. And I came to you for Amazon ads help. And as you dug deeper into my body of writing work, you said with all loving care, you're like, we need to dig a little deeper here. It's not, you don't need ads right now. You need, branding and cohesiveness and focus and stuff.
Yeah.
And so similarly with my YouTube channel, again, because I'm the just do it kind of guy, I just publish whatever, especially the first few years. So which is another reason because I'm kind of jumping ahead in the YouTube strategy here, but I publish a whole bunch of stuff and the topics are roughly ish, kind of under an umbrella. But this is also why
the umbrella is what Bradley wants to talk about this week.
Yes. Yeah. But that's exactly what it was. But also, if you remember, my core reason to start this thing at all was to practice public speaking.
Yes.
So it wasn't to build an audience. It wasn't to monetize. It wasn't to have a business.
Do you think then, and this is kind of a sideways question a little bit, but I think it's super important because one of the big things that I work on with people with ads now, people are like, oh, my ACOS is this, or my ROAS is this, or my they take one single vanity metric and then they assess their ads in the aggregate, how they're doing. And I'm like, whoa, let's step back and see why you're an author, what your catalog's about. And then at the campaign level, why you are targeting this target,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
makes a difference in the assessment. So would you
Yeah.
say that for YouTube, even rather than authors just going out and doing a YouTube channel and saying, I'm going to get more sales, do you think that they need to sort of have a micro goal or a specific goal around YouTube, like a little bit more, understand the why a little bit more
Yeah, I
before
think
they do it?
exactly as you advise in the publishing and book and author world,
Yeah.
it's very similar, right? Because
Okay.
remember, I had the advantage of quantity, and
Yeah.
also I'm a
You,
creating machine, right? I'm a
you are
total oddball
insane.
in that
Yes.
case. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but that
I
is just
love it.
I breathe. It's so easy for me.
Yeah.
And I totally realize that not everybody does that or wants to do that or
And I
can do
just
that.
want to remind people, it wasn't always that easy for you, that
No,
you have
no, no, no,
exercised it
no.
regularly. And now it's just like, boom, idea done,
Yeah, yeah.
executed. Um, okay. Well,
Last week
yeah.
in Amsterdam, we're at a
Yeah.
TEDx event, and it's like
Yeah.
an open mic night. And I
Yeah.
went with a speaker friend of mine from Boom, Chicago, and we
Hmm.
made a deal. We said we are not going to get on stage tonight. Okay, we didn't prepare anything. We're not. Whatever we do, we're not getting on stage. We both got on stage.
I was going to say, I know
Yeah,
that's BS.
and then it was interesting because he said to me, I haven't uploaded this. I've got to upload it still, but he said, "Oh my God, Bradley, I haven't seen you on stage in a while, but." It's just like grab the mic and you're just at home. You're just at home up there. My
Yeah.
God. And I
Yeah.
am. But guess why? Because I do a damn video every week for the past 6 years. It's just daily practice for me.
Wait, so going back to the growth
Yeah.
and the volume of bringing your back catalog on, I just want to be
Yeah.
really clear with that.
Yeah.
Did you experience, so you're not always going to have 4 videos a week.
No.
So that was a short period of time where you had the 4 videos a week. And
A
then
year.
at some point for a year, that
Yeah.
happened for a year. Okay. So
Yeah.
then have you seen growth slow down now? Like
Yeah.
what's,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. And I didn't really realize while I was doing it that that's what was doing it. Right.
And so it was sheer, like if I'm thinking of when I think of ads, sorry, I keep going back to the ads thing because I'm just thinking
It's,
about the waterfall of metrics that I teach where, people want to run to the output metrics and to the success metric, but you have to look at the top of the waterfall where there needs to be impressions before you can look at
yes.
any other metric. And so with YouTube, what we're seeing or what you're seeing is that the follower growth is similar to sales and conversions on ads, right? But because of the velocity, the quantity that you were uploading, YouTube was getting you out there more. It was giving you those
Yes.
impressions and serving you to
Yes.
the audience more
Yeah.
before any of the other metrics could trickle through. So what did
Right.
it look like, if you remember, because I didn't ask you to pull your dashboard up or anything like that, but what did it look like? Was there a whole flow between I'm seeing more video views, more engagement, more staying power through there, and then followers? Or do you think people, what do you think the behavior is? Are people just clicking follow because they see something they like for 30
Yes.
seconds?
Yes. So I
Oh,
get most of them from my shorts. And so are they engaging? Not necessarily. Are they commenting and liking and sharing and all the good stuff? I mean, so much similar to the book world, right? You
yeah.
can buy the book or click on the book and you might never open it. You won't leave a review. You're not going to buy any future books, but you bought it. And so I have so many subscribers. And I would say oh, aren't you embarrassed to say that? But no, because another interesting thing is I can't tell people to subscribe. I just put my stuff out, and if you subscribe, you subscribe. I can't push that or
People do
force that.
tell all the time, though, to subscribe,
Yeah,
prompt to
sorry, I don't
subscribe.
mean that. I don't mean that. I don't mean
You can't make it happen. It's not controllable,
yeah.
is what you're
I just
saying.
put stuff out, and but back to your few questions ago, you said, so if somebody's just starting with YouTube, would you rather go niche? And yes, I think that would be the more strategic starting plan for YouTube. Go niche. And then, just like the book world, right? Go with your genre, go with the tropes, do the title like you're supposed to, do the cover like they're expecting, and go niche and go consistent and go small. Because then you're going to have from the beginning, ideally, engagement and comments and all the shares and all the good stuff you want. Because now I'm not backpedaling, but now that I've got this big number of subscribers, only now, and it's also funny because last year I hit 100,000 and I'm finally like, quote unquote, taking this seriously,
But you doubled really fast. You hit that 100,000 and the next time I looked, you're like at 245 or
200.
something like that. I was
it's
what is going on here?
It's just bonkers. But, it's similar to the book world, right? You get that bestseller or whatever, and then they're going to help your other books, or they're going to put you in front of the more audience. And so it was, I mean, okay, here's another thing people aren't going to want to hear, but I had my channel for I can't remember, 8 years or something. I didn't do anything for 5 years. And then it took me like a year to get from 0 to 100 subscribers, right? Because wasn't even, super painful. But the most painful was 100 to 1,000. That was really hard. Because 100, you can kind of think, oh, it's friends or whatever. But 1,000, that was the hardest. That took me a year. And then
for the record, as we record this, I have exactly 3. I will wear my failures on my arm, along with the rest of my tattoos, which some of them are failures.
Right. But this is interesting because we're back to, I remember in France last week, they said, I always get the question, because I had this big boasty, I'm not so boasty, but I had this big slide up and it said, I just hit 10 million views and I have 250 plus thousand subscribers. But then the crazy number is I have 6,000 uploaded videos, right? That's an insane number. It's actually,
I know. Oh my God.
And then the question is always, oh, how much money are you making? And I said, oh, you're going to love this. Ready? And I'm like, 0, right? And they're like, what? And I say, remember why I started this thing. I'm not in the game for the monetization. I'm not in the game to be a rock star. This was a practice zone for me in public speaking and being on a stage where I can reach a lot of people with my content. That's it. That's why I'm doing it.
Okay. So you're jumping ahead a little bit.
Yes.
And I'm happy to jump right there with you because I did have a bunch of questions about monetization because, I always ask you that. I'm like, are you monetizing yet? What are you doing?
Right.
But, so sorry, it is raining so loud here. I can't believe it. It makes me nervous because Mexico City gets, we're built on a lake. We get these weird flash floods and I'm always just looking around for signals of impending water doom. Anyway, your ROI, how are you actually measuring it? Is it just that you now use that 200 plus K number to pitch other public speaking?
Yes. Perfect example.
Okay.
Yes. For example, yes. I also get good or better or higher level, whatever you want to call them, interviews. Because just like we're doing now, this is one of my favorite things to do is interviews. And those are, by the way, speaking of quality, those are my best ranked and most watched videos are the interviews. I think that's really interesting.
Interviews
like
of
we're doing
you
right now.
or you interviewing somebody else?
Somebody else. Me interviewing somebody else. Or the other way around.
Okay, because so we're flipping. Yeah. We're going back now to what moves the needle then, which this is super important because I had some questions around this too. When you do the interviews, do you usually do a collaboration or do you just do a regular conversation? Like, are you gaining their audience too to some extent? Or okay.
Yes. So just to explain to people, because YouTube collaboration is pretty cool actually, right? So this is going to be your video. You're going to sort of own it.
So just to be clear for people, for listeners, collaboration is actually a feature, a tool within. It's not just like Janet and Bradley are collaborating on this discussion today. It's an actual feature within the YouTube interface.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And here's how it works. So Janet's going to sort of own this video. She's going to put it on her channel. And then she's going to, in the editing, she's going to go, oh, invite a collaborator. She's going to invite me. And then I have to accept. And then it will show up on a certain feed, collaborations, on my channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the beauty of this is that we both get views, and we both, if we're monetized, we both get monetization, and then we don't share it either. Like you get yours, I get mine. It's really a
wow.
win-win situation. Yeah, it's really a good thing to do. And YouTube likes it. They liked it. People are collaborating, right? So they'll help promote that more. And then it's on my feed, and I can't do everything with it, but I can put it into a playlist, for example, and that's going to get more traction than just hiding at the bottom of my homepage. So it's really cool.
So that's another point to note for people. It's not just the collaboration feature, but also the playlist feature.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think, other than interviews,
Yeah.
do you think, have you identified any little pocket of content type that is more successful other than length? Because you said your shorts are more popular. How short are shorts?
Shorts are from 15 seconds to 3 minutes. It used to be 1 minute. Now it's 15 seconds to 3 minutes. And
It's funny. I
they're
thought you were
always
going to say
vertical.
30 seconds.
15 to 3 minutes. So here's a pro tip. And this is also where you can build the watch hours and get the more subscribers. So one feature in a short, you have to do this manually. So let's say you chop up this video, right? We've got our long video here, and you chop it up into shorts. And then you publish the shorts on your channel. By the way, you can also invite me to collaborate on the shorts as well, which I highly recommend, right? Then I have your shorts, our shorts, whatever, also on my channel. And I can also put those into a playlist, right? But the best thing about the best thing you can do with a short is you have to do this manually. You go into it, you edit, and it'll say related video. And you only get that on a short. And then you go choose the long video where the clip came from, right? The short is a clip from the long video. Because otherwise on the short screen, just like in Instagram or others, you can't click or tap or anything, right? Like Instagram, see link in bio or whatever, right?
I hate that so much.
Exactly. So here's the solution. In a short, you say related video, then, and only then, does that turn into a tappable, clickable link on mobile, on computer, on whatever, and that will take them to the full video. This is the best way to get people. This is how I get so many views, right? They go from my bazillion shorts to the main video, right? So back to quantity, because you said what type of content, but back to quantity, like if I have a 30-minute video, I use a tool called Opus Clip. There's lots of tools that do this.
Oh, yeah.
But Opus Clip, it'll chop up my 30-minute video into roughly 30 shorts. And I don't mean that each one is the 1 minute section. It all figures out like which one to use or whatever. And then now I have 30 shorts. And I'm going to go post-date them, maybe 2 a day, maybe 1 a day for simplicity's sake, call it 1 a day. So for the next 30 days, I kind of have a promotion for our long video coming out every day. And then, sorry, again, annoying manual trick, but you have to go in every day into edit the short and say related video is the long one.
I just want to say one thing that
Sorry.
is popping
That was a lot.
up. No, it was great. It was absolutely great.
Okay.
But although we're having this conversation about just do it, if you get, I'm a fan of just do it, which is kind of what I'm doing with this podcast. But at some point, if I actually want to try to grow the podcast, and this, I want authors to, have full disclosure on this, it's going to take some work. And what you're calling out is that it's going to take some manual work. There's a bunch of tips and tricks, but you have to, if you have an author roadmap, an author platform roadmap, you
Yeah.
have to carve out serious time to invest in that growth. It's
Yeah.
not just like, oh, and it went viral. It's like, no. How are you really
No.
going to
Yeah.
build the
Well,
sustainability? Okay.
speaking of which, what's going to go viral is clip number 14, because Janet said something awesome and the clip got it and people love it. And then that one's clip number 14 is going to go viral. But of course, you don't know beforehand which one's going to go viral. But when
Mm-hmm.
you post them all, then you wait and see. So I know it's
And
going to take some work, but you can just do a lot of this can be automated, a lot of it, like the clips part.
yeah, I use Riverside
Oh,
Podcasting
yeah.
Studio or whatever, however they
Right.
frame themselves to be, and they do these magic clips automatically.
Okay.
I haven't
Cool.
been a total fan of them, but because I was doing another podcast for a while that was kind of a secret podcast that actually was a test ground and made me realize that this is really what I wanted to be doing. But I learned a
Yeah.
lot from
Cool.
it. I didn't really like the magic clips, but then I honestly just found out that, oh, you can actually edit the magic clips. So
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
you like them,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
thought I was getting
Yeah.
some like weird segments. But I
It
just finally
absolutely
realized,
does.
yeah.
Some are
Yeah.
total garbage.
So, is there a video in particular that you almost didn't publish that ended up kind of being a little bit of a breakout hit or like more popular that you can think of?
Interviews. Some
Okay.
interviews where I think, like, oh, I don't know how well that went, right? And
Yeah.
then people love it. I'm like, oh, and this is it come down to personal preference, right? I don't know, chocolate chip cookies. And my guest is talking about chocolate chip cookies the whole time. Well, I don't like chocolate chip cookies, but people do apparently. And so
Yeah.
it was kind of like that. It was about the topic, and it was actually a fiction author. And the fiction author was talking about how YouTube works for her, and people were really into it because it's an interesting topic, right? I mean, you and I are even interested in that. How do fiction
Totally.
authors make
Yeah.
YouTube work? And it was
So
super popular.
we've talked about how shorts can effectively promote the main content and or the channel. Um,
Yeah,
but we're still talking about within the YouTube universe. Do you
yeah,
ever use those shorts and publish them on other social media platforms like Instagram or TikTok or whatever? Do you do anything like that or no?
yes, all of them. So again, back to Opus Clip.
Yeah.
Opus, it's kind of amazing, but it'll
Yeah.
make, again, with the 30-minute one video. All I do is you give the link of the 30-minute video. It makes 30 clips. I used to be more conscientious and like look through them and make sure they were good. I don't even
Yeah.
bother anymore. And I've
Okay.
got 30 clips, and then I can select, I think it's LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, and my YouTube channel. Okay. All of those. And I can post date one every day for the next 30 days at 4:02 p.m. Go. That's it.
Okay.
Now I just published to 6 different social media channels.
Do you actually post these clips to LinkedIn?
That's interesting you ask about LinkedIn, because if some of the LinkedIn I consider, it's a more professional platform, right?
Yeah.
It's not X, Twitter. And so I am more conscientious about what I send to LinkedIn. So I don't often check the box for LinkedIn. If it's
Okay.
depends on the content, depends on the, what am I talking about? Is it something LinkedIn appropriate, or is it some wacky
Yeah.
thing? So
And do you have does YouTube give you the referral data of who came in from those channels?
not that I know it. Good question. Not that I know it, because it's kind of embedded, right? It's kind of like it's a YouTube
Oh,
video.
they're watching a YouTube player
Yeah, well,
on
kind of,
the
not all
native
of them.
site. No?
I think TikTok is actually on TikTok, but
I
it
feel
is
like
not a
TikTok would
perfect
have to be on
system.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, it is not a perfect system by
All
any
this
means.
stuff is pretty funky.
Yes. The better way to do it, but it's extremely time consuming, would be to take the
Hmm.
original source video and
Yeah.
upload your clean cut manually to
Yeah, I
the
know TikTok
platforms.
really likes that because they don't want to
Yeah,
see regurgitated content from other
exactly.
platforms. So sometimes you have to copy it and actually change the metadata in it,
Yes.
change the title and whatnot, and upload it like it's fresh.
Okay. So this is a perfect segue into sort of where I am now, and also where you asked, where should people start?
Yeah,
So if you're a complete machine like I am,
I am
feel
not.
free. Right, right. And most people are not.
Yeah.
And so if you're good with, publishing every day for years, go for it. And who cares what you do? Just make crap. I don't care. But that's kind of what I did. But now, now that I've hit these big numbers, I'm kind of, taking it seriously. And now I'm actually thinking of either not using Opus Clip or using Opus Clip for certain things, but being much more strategic about, whoa, minute 102 to 147, 30 seconds of absolute just stellar content.
Yeah.
I am going to take the time to make that 30-second fantastic clip, manually cut it, manually put it on LinkedIn because it makes sense or whatever, manually put it on XYZ platform because it's a really good piece of content, and rather have 2 awesome clips than 30, maybe there's some good clips in there.
So this is screaming, given my audience of authors, this is screaming nonfiction author. But most of my audience is actually fiction author, which this does not necessarily apply to because I don't know if they'd be doing the long format. Now, you just had that interview. Will you plug that interview with the fiction author who's having YouTube success so people can, I mean, it'll be in the show notes, but that people can go find that specific one?
Sure, sure. Um, her first name is Lainey. Do you want me to? I can't remember. It's Lainey. I'm blanking on her last name. But but for
You know
fiction
your
authors,
guests well, man.
yeah, I know. I have a lot of guests. Well, it was also a pen name because I was confused because it was her pen name, but it
Oh,
wasn't a real name, and I was all confused. Even in the
okay.
interview, I'm like, wait, what am I supposed to call you? So
Okay.
that's why I couldn't get on her name. But
Okay.
we'll put it in the
We'll
show
get it
notes.
for the show notes, but I'm just wondering, because the use case that we've been talking about is mostly making short content or cutting up longer content to get the short
Yeah,
content to promote the long
yeah.
content. But did that fiction author, do you recall, like, was she more focused on short form content or
No,
did she really do long form?
she really did long form, and
Oh, okay.
she was doing her audiobooks. So I think
Audiobook focus. Okay. Then
so I
you
think
could, that's cool.
for
Okay.
fiction authors, there's a couple ideas. But of course, if we go total stereotypical, and fiction
Yeah.
authors, okay, again, I'm totally stereotyping, but introverted, don't want to be in camera, don't want to show my face, don't want to really talk, don't want to go in public, right? And so YouTube is super scary, and I get it. And so I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Got it. And if you don't want to sort of quote unquote create content from you as the author, as the
Yeah.
fiction author, whether
Yeah.
it's craft or talk about your characters or talk about yourself or talk about your process or talk about your book, whatever, if you don't want to do any of that, by the way, which I would recommend, I mean, me as a reader, I love getting to know the authors. I want to hear little stories. Whatever it's about, is something to get to know the author a little bit. That's pretty cool. So it depends on the personality of that fiction author. But the
Yeah.
most fiction authors, what they're doing is audiobooks. And so, and by the way, contrary to the strategy I would choose and have chosen, I wanted to put my chapters into different episodes or different
Oh, I heard
videos.
that's a no.
No, yeah, it's not. It's not a good idea. It doesn't make any sense to my logical systemized brain. And
Is
it
that
says
because
no.
YouTube values dwell time or
Yeah,
whatever they call it?
they just want you to sit
Yeah.
on the thing for 6 hours, right? The book's 6 hours long. They just want you to hit play and listen forever. Yeah. And that's exactly what happens.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of
So
crazy.
some authors worry that a free audiobook on YouTube would give away too much for free and cannibalize book sales.
Yeah.
Have you heard or found the opposite to be true?
So it's interesting. The ones who are succeeding, they're making more money on YouTube than the book sales
because
on the.
through the YouTube monetization.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And so like back to Lainey, for example, she'll say, hey, if you don't want to, because there's probably ads, right? I mean, that's how YouTube's making the money. There's probably ads in that book.
Yeah.
And so if you don't want the ads or you don't want to have your phone on YouTube or whatever, here's where you can buy the book. Go buy it at these stores. Thanks.
So that is really good. So let's just talk about a use case or two then for fiction authors for a minute, maybe even nonfiction authors, but I just want to focus in on the fiction. So the use case would be start a YouTube, forget about the content right now, but start a YouTube because you want to reach more people and grow an audience like any other social media platform, even though we know
Yeah.
YouTube's not like any social media platform. I just mean
Yeah.
in terms of like getting the followers, the brand recognition, yada, yada, yada. Or, I'm not saying this is just one or two options, or the second use case could be strictly money in pocket. However, money in pocket is not for people who are obsessed with, let's say, Amazon rank.
Right.
It's
Right.
similar to, so it could be good for like people who have already embraced direct sales and
Yes.
understand that it's not all about Amazon, thank God. And
Yeah.
maybe not even all about your straight bookstore
Yeah.
ISBN sales numbers, but they
Right.
just want the cash in pocket. YouTube is
Yeah.
is a great outlet or a great channel to grow your actual reader base.
Yeah. What's kind of sad is that a lot of authors, I mean, like with all of the platforms, books or audio or whatever, people
Yeah.
say, oh, well, oh, you can listen to whatever, John Grisham's audiobook here on this pirate site. And so the argument could be, well, it's going to be on the pirate site anyway. And YouTube's pretty good. I mean, they try to take that stuff down. But you
Yeah.
could say, well, if it's up there for free anyway, I might as well benefit from them listening to my book for free on my YouTube channel. Right?
There's a lot of authors, and I think these are mostly bigger authors, not people just starting out or kind of mid-list. There's a lot of bigger authors who just let the pirates have their book because it eventually grows their reader base. People
Yeah.
are reading the book, which is the bottom
Yeah.
line. I want to go
Yeah.
back to growth for a minute. Was this all organic? Organic with the big leg up of importing the back catalog from the old channel, or did you
Right.
run ads?
I also ran ads because ads
Ah,
are, so, okay, this is like a little secret weapon in YouTube. I mean, I
no
know
longer.
Janet. Well, um, one tiny thing back to the fiction audiobook. So
Yeah, yeah,
Lainey, she'd do her long video, and she even said, like, the first thing we got on camera, she's like, I don't do anything. I just upload. I don't do anything. I don't make it fancy. I don't do pretty, whatever. But it was
yeah,
fun for me, who knows YouTube pretty well. Like, you could do this and you could do this and you could do this, right?
yeah.
And she wasn't
You're a
doing any of
feature
it.
geek. Yeah,
Yeah. But for
yeah,
example, take her 6-hour book and
yeah.
make some shorts and then have the short lead to the main thing. Cause the shorts are
And
the
she
main
doesn't do
things.
that either.
She wasn't doing it. I'm not even sure she knew. I can't remember. But
Okay.
it's such an easy one. You upload your 6-hour book. Wow. I mean, you could play with chapter ideas. You could play with, you cut your own favorite part. You let Opus Clip or something, clip a little clippy clip. And
So
then you
if
do
you
related
wanted
video.
to, you mentioned before, like many authors don't want to upload the whole book. They're thinking chapter by chapter. You could actually have, well, maybe you couldn't because the shorts are 3 minutes. I was going to say you could have one full video with it all, and then you could actually have shorts by chapter, but you can't because chapters would exceed a 3-minute length.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, they
that won't
would.
work, but you can still do highlights.
Yeah. Here, just on the fiction front still, because this is something I really want to do.
This is going to be like a 3-hour interview.
Okay. Okay. I just have Pepper over here who eventually wants to go out in the woods, but
Yeah, I got my coffee.
okay.
Sorry.
So, what I really want to do, and in fact, I'm still trying to figure out how to do it, is I'm playing around with. So back to Lainey. She uploads like a static image. I think there's like a moving background of some like repetitive kind. That's all she does. Nothing
Some
fancy.
people just do like a fireplace.
Yes,
You
fine.
know?
Great. But if you think about it, most listeners aren't really watching anyway, so kind of who cares?
Yeah.
But what I would like to play with is uh, it's like a chapter, but then have something like relevant images or even like moving images of something that's related. And I don't want to say a Hollywood blockbuster film, but you got the chapter about Jack and Jill going up the hill. Well, wouldn't that be fun to have like little Jack and a little Jill? I don't know. Are they cartoons? Are they AI? Are they
I
characters? I don't
actually would
know.
like to put a pin in this because
Okay.
this is a design thing that it is an issue even with book covers about whether or not you want to impose too much in the reader's brain or let them be creative with
Oh,
how they.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I love
That's
the
an
creative
excellent
thinking,
point.
but I actually don't want to be suggesting this to authors. They need to
Yes,
really
yes,
figure
yes.
out for their brand how hard they should go in the visuals on YouTube. I think that is a
So
separate discussion.
I totally agree. Maybe from a nonfiction perspective, we're talking about
Yeah.
chart, and I could have the chart.
I think for nonfiction, I think it's excellent and
Yeah, yeah,
that makes a lot of sense to be more direct. And you're actually it's a value add. Whereas in
yeah,
fiction, it could actually be noise that dissuades somebody from the core of your story. But I'm going to
yes.
be talking
I
about stuff like that
totally
with a
agree.
design pro soon.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Oh, I'd love to
Actually, I
hear.
don't know if you're airing first or he's airing first, but
Okay.
um, I want to talk about YouTube as, I mean, owned by Google. It's a search engine as much as a social
Yeah.
platform or
Yes.
entertainment platform. I
Yeah.
know it's really an entertainment platform. How much are you thinking about SEO versus just making your content? Do you think about it beforehand or do you think about SEO afterwards, or do you not think of it at all?
So again, as I've evolved, I'm thinking about it a whole lot more.
Okay.
And whereas in the beginning, I'm like, whatever, Bradley and Pepper walk in the woods. Who cares, right? Now it's much more. I'm much more geared towards SEO. With
Okay.
again, just like book titles, the title of the video is super important. The thumb, just like a book cover, the thumbnail is ridiculously important, right? With your statement, with your big bold text of few words, and then probably an image of the person or whatever. But there's so it's again, we're kind of like back to book covers. You say, oh, your genre is this. Make sure your book cover looks like that. So if you want to be good, then follow the rules. So I'm definitely following the rules more.
So let's pop back to the start of this conversation. Overthinking versus just doing it. Authors are notorious overthinkers.
Yes.
What do you say to the person who's had a YouTube idea for like 18 months and still hasn't pressed record?
Yeah. Okay. Remember private, unlisted, and
Yeah.
public? I
Yeah.
would say, just like the challenge that kicked my butt way back when, I'd say go record a 15-second short every day for 30 days. I don't care if you're talking about your dog.
What's the cost of
Just to,
waiting till everything's perfect?
the cost is pain and suffering and regret.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's also more cognitive burden. I focus on cognitive burden all
Yes.
the time now because I'm living not in my home country and attempting to learn another language. So the
Yeah.
cognitive burden of just having the to-do list and the wish I
Yeah.
could and
Yeah.
how can I make it live? I
Yes.
think sometimes you just ship it
Yeah.
and get on with your life is good.
That's an excellent point, and that's so important what you just said. You're going to spend more energy and brain power and thinking and heart and gut and
Yeah.
ah, what you should do next Tuesday or someday rather than hit the damn record button, go for 15 seconds. And I'm not saying you solved it and you have your masterpiece, but you
Yeah.
sort of flushed it out.
And you got the process going. The ball is
Yeah.
moving now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I know you're Mr. Just Do It, but how long does it take you to produce a video from idea to publish? 5
So this
minutes?
is all.
No,
This
I'm
has
kidding.
also changed
Okay.
because again, am I just publishing? Okay, Pepper, my dog, is in all my videos, right? Almost. So is it really
Yeah.
just, oh, there's Pepper. We're going to talk about whatever today. Who cares? I mean, in the past, I would do that. And then
Yeah.
I would just wing it and see what happens, right? Now I'm much more strategic about, I've got a topic. I've got maybe if you want to get super dorky, a call to action or a takeaway or a
Hmm.
idea or a main purpose.
Hmm.
The hardcore YouTubers, they like will
Hmm.
work on their thumbnail and their title before they even hit record, right? And I get it. Sort of like your book title or your blurb. They often, for authors, they often say write your blurb before your book
Yeah.
because you know what you're going for. So yes, I've
So,
become much more strategic about how I'm recording.
so for to be more productive and or efficient with writers, they also always say when you're sitting down at the desk today, know what you're going to write. So it's basically
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Let's talk practicalities for a minute. What gear or setup or tools do you actually use? I'm not saying like what's your entire tech stack, but
right.
what do you recommend for an author who's starting out with their tech stack? I
So
know yours has evolved. So,
it has totally evolved. But what's interesting is that it's almost like we're coming full circle thanks to AI. So because AI is so prevalent and so you can't even tell, is that AI or what? What's becoming more popular now is authentic, real human behavior. So I get comments like, hey, that's a real dog. It's not an AI dog. That's
oh
Pepper.
my
That's the
God.
real dog. Yeah. And they say, you're a real person and that's a real dog. Like, I like you. You're good. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, because we're talking tech stack and editing and fancy editing tools and making it
Yeah.
all perfect, it's almost just being more human is the current best practice.
Which is
So,
this podcast.
yeah, yeah. So don't over edit. Don't make it perfect. Like for me,
Hmm.
I even did it the other day. I was speaking and I had a pause because there was an important topic that I was thinking about. And then as I was pausing, I even said, this is a YouTube pause. You know what I'm doing now? I'm thinking. I'm not going to cut it out. That's what I literally said that because if you watch the videos, sometimes they will clip out every
Yes.
single
Oh my God. That
and sound.
drives me nuts. I've had to do that for some of my interviews. But I was actually thinking as we were having this conversation, how much am I going to edit this? Am I just going to let it
Yeah.
roll? I'm going to let it roll.
Yeah. So you were asking about my editing. I do not edit interviews unless there's
Okay.
some screw up or the lights went out or whatever, or the something
Do you
beeped.
take
But
out the ums?
no, no way. No, no, no. Unless they're just horrendous. But no. Because I'm back to authenticity. Sometimes when I watch these things and there's no there's no pause, there's no breathing, right? And again, I'm a public speaker, right? This is we evaluate this kind of stuff. Pauses
Human
are
life.
important.
Yeah.
Silence is important.
Hmm.
Like vocal. Okay, in Toastmasters they call it vocal variety. And so,
Oh,
for
yeah.
example, I'm I'm having the best day of my life. I swear this is the best day. Wow, this is amazing. I can't believe what an enjoyable time I'm having right here. Wow. And if I keep speaking monotone like this, you're probably going to drive you totally crazy.
That's
That's okay. I'm
AI
going to keep doing it.
narration.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas is tone and volume and speed and pacing and pauses and silence. Again, it's the speaker in me, but they're so important for that authenticity.
Yeah. So for an author at zero, what's the
Right.
one thing that you would tell them to focus on in their first 90 days on YouTube?
So are we assuming we're not talking audiobook uploads, right? We're talking about like an author who wants to have a channel of some kind,
So
like
let's
to build their brand.
say that, yeah, let's not talk about audiobooks because that's an obvious one that everyone might jump to. But
Right.
what do they need to focus on? Is it content or is it consistency or what is it?
I would say consistency first, and then your quality will grow. Because we're back to the perfection thing. If you wait until you got your perfect video on day one, it's never going to
So
happen.
can I reframe that a bit?
Yes.
And tell me
Yes.
if it's wrong? I'm going to say that consistency, yes, but your objective, the why, should be to get comfortable with the platform and
Yes.
whatever you're doing to get those, whether it's on camera
Yes.
or whether it's faceless or not, just
Yeah.
to get comfortable with the platform and with creating the content.
Yes. I will add to that. So in the writer's world, I often make this comment that I don't want you to use Word or Google Docs or something, because that's what you might use for some other Word project. I want you to use a dedicated book software tool, right? Vellum or Atticus or Scrivener or whatever, right? Why? Because I want you to think, I'm working on my book now.
This
So
is what I
similar,
do when I do. Okay. Yeah.
yes. So similar to YouTube, I don't want you to say, oh, well, I have it on my phone. Like, no, you just took a picture of your daughter on your phone too. You just did a video of your dog on your phone. That's not your YouTube. So I want you to put that YouTube hat on. And that's why I want you to, by the way, you can upload directly in the YouTube app on your phone, right? So you can do shorts, or you can do, so shorts are the easiest. So that's why I want you to use the YouTube app, hit record on the, on the 15 or 3 minute short. And then my honest, full-hearted recommendation is really to do the 15 seconds for 30 days. And I can guarantee you'll be more comfortable after 30 days. And if you feel more comfortable earlier, good job.
Wow. I feel it's so funny because I started to take notes. I'm like, I don't need to take notes. I'm recording this. Then I can get the transcript. I feel like I have
Yeah.
so much to consider. This has been amazing. I hope it's been amazing for the audience too. It's been really amazing for me personally. But that's the joy of having your own podcast. You can talk to who you want to talk to. But thank you so much. What's next for you and your YouTube channel? Just continued growth or what?
It's smarter, more strategic growth.
Okay.
I've done the quantity. I've done the, publishing like a machine. I am now focusing on higher quality, a little bit more polished, because I'm not kidding that I like walk in the woods with my dog, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's just up in that game a little bit, a little smarter with the titles, and Janet, you will be happy to hear this, but more focused with my audience, more targeted on a specific audience with a more narrow focus and topic. And guess what my topic is? I mean, it's really exactly what we're talking about. It's not waiting for the big leap and the big mountain. I heard this fantastic quote this morning. It was, while you're staring up at the peak of the mountain, you trip over the stones in front of your feet. So good, right? So focus on that first step, right?
Yeah.
And so focus on that 15-second short for 30 days. So this is where I think I can help the most people. And so it's also, and that's where my fun zone is and my love zone is, because I actually don't want to coach you for 6 months, right? I want to help you for like a month, and I want you to just get started and then you go on your way. I want to help you, in the first steps. So for me, it's more focus, it's more strategy, it's more quality, and less totally winging it with just for fun. Back to private, unlisted, public. If I've got the silly stuff that doesn't really match my channel, I just make it unlisted. Right?
So where can people find you, Bradley?
It's all possible. Possible, like possible again and again. I'm
So your
repossible
website is
everywhere.
repossible.com and your YouTube channel is repossible.
Yeah, repossible.
Beautiful.
YouTube.com/@repossible. Yes.
Bradley, thank you so much. I hope the audience feels as energized as I do every single time we chat, whether it's recorded or
Yes.
not. And most of them are not recorded.
I know. Yes. It has been a delight, Janet, as always. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, that's our show. Find resources and more at zenandtheartofselfpublishing.com. I'm Janet, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take a deep breath, trust your work, and keep writing.